Here's my buddy's Craftsman LT1000, and today I'm gonna take this as far as I can. We're gonna be rewiring it because it's just a rat's nest of wires right now, and it also is not housing the factory motor, obviously. So we're gonna wire it up to the ignition switch, hopefully. I say we, I mean me. But I'm going to give you guys a basic overview on how to do it, just in case you're not familiar with it or you need a few pointers. Alright, let's see if we get any kick out of this old motor. Ooh. Backfire. Alright, I got her running here. Check this out. Keys off. Flicker on. Mind you, she sounds like a turd, but it runs. So basically, I'll just give you a quick overview on the wiring on a lawnmower because I don't have time to go into a comprehensive video on it. If somebody really wanted that, I could do it. It's pretty easy. There's going to be on a single head or a single cylinder, there's going to be a coil pack under here, and on that coil there is a wire that comes off, a little small black wire usually, and that is the wire that kills the motor when grounded. So you could hook this up to a toggle switch. You could have this go onto your toggle switch and straight to the body ground, and it would shut off when you create the when you close the circuit through. But if you want to hook it up to the original key switch, you can do that. It basically involves you trial and error or get a multimeter and do it, but you can check and figure out which wires that you need to have a open circuit when it's in the on position, and when it's in the off position it should be closed, meaning that it'll connect the ground, because there's going to be a ground that goes to your switch, and it's going to connect that ground to the wire, one of the wires coming off of the block right there, and then you connect that to your coil. So basically when you shut the key off, it grounds that wire. So there's that. And then the only other thing is the start mechanism, which is very easy on these. There's a relay or a solenoid, and on this solenoid you can have one or two posts. If it has two posts, one is usually ground and one is usually a switched wire. Now, on a single post, it is the post that, or the terminal that you find is the switched wire. And then you have the main leads, one going to your battery and one going to your starter. So in order to make that work, you need a push button, or you can run it off the ignition switch, however you choose to do it. And all you need is a circuit that closes when you turn it into the cycling for start position there. So that could also be visualized as a push button. When you press the button in, it connects the wires together. So you could run that to your positive lead on your battery and straight down, well, up to your ignition switch or push button, and then out of the other side of it down to your solenoid, and on that switched wire there, the small one, and that will close the solenoid. So for me specifically, I have let's see, the red wire that is on my ignition switch here is the constant power wire off my battery, and then the switched wire, it happens to be a black wire that's directly below the red one. And then, yeah, so that's basically all there is to that. It's really simple. And then the only other thing is the charging and lights. So the lights, usually there's a white wire that comes off the motor. This white wire will run the lights. and usually it'll go up to a switch. This one here, actually factory was on this here, but I'm not going to use that. I'm going to have a separate switch. Or else, for now, I might just wire them on hardwired so they're on all the time. Somebody can do something with it later. Then the other wire is your charging mechanism. Now that one there is supposed to be fused. You have to have that, I guess it's a diode. You have to have that diode on the charging circuit so that the power doesn't go from your battery and backfeed into the alternator part of it. So that's this one here. It's incorporated into this here mechanism. And then you put a fuse in it or put it right to your battery. Don't matter. Got the white wire there for 12 volts for a light bar or something if you ever wanted it. And then I got the lights hardwired on there with a coil left enough to be able to get up to a switch or something if somebody wanted to. And yeah, so for now, there we go. That concludes the wiring on this jobby. I got to build a slight holder there for the battery. And I got to mount the gas tank under here. Hook up a gas throttle pedal. And weld the shifter on because it's loose. And I got to do something with the intake on it and an exhaust. Some sort of straight pipe or something on there. Alright, on the mower today, I got to try and get the gas tank mounted up in there. So here's what we're working with. I'm sort of thinking of something like that. And then welding a little bracket that just comes straight up. And then just put a bolt through the tab there. And that should pretty well do it. Alright, I managed to get the gas tank mounted. Also went and I had to weld the shifter on down there. And I had to align the shifter. Got that working right. Alright, so currently this rear end's not locked. So I just threaded in a grease fitting right there. And I use this here tap and die and thread it in that grease fitting there. And that's just so that we can pump this full of grease, because I know in the shifting mechanism there, they tend to get a little seized up and if they get any moisture or anything in them. So that way there, we can just keep adding grease to it and stuff until we have to take it apart. And once we take it apart, we'll probably lock it then. But for now, that'll grease that shifting mechanism and it'll also spread around the whole rear end, so that'll be good. Alright, so I got the exhaust on her. I'm not 100% satisfied with that. I'd like to sort of cut it off here or something. It sticks out pretty far, but whatever. For now, it's just going to be that. Straight off the motor there. Comes out and down, right out, and it just clears the direction of the tire, so it's not going to hit that and blow up on you. And then I just did a little bit of modification down here to the pulley system on it, and I think it's okay, but at the same time it might be too tight. There's quite a bit of play in it when this is with the clutch in, but I don't know if it's going to be too much tension or not. I haven't done this in years. But anyway, and then when you let it out, I put another spring on the clutch. It's got a bit of tension on it, and it's quite tight, so it should be alright. Hoping. I'll have to give her a try in here and see. So that's about that. The last little bit here that I'm concerning myself with is the gas pedal.